you don't play it safe. Okay, one big thing that we do that's really an issue and a problem as human beings is that we play life too safe. We decide not to do things because we base our life on fears. You know what I'm saying? Being scared to talk to that woman you want to talk to, being scared of going and trying to get that job opportunity that you. It's like made the other day about the whole mental downloads, the spiritual downloads, is that a lot of the time we have daydreams constantly of things that we wish we would do and things we wish we would achieve, but we don't like to put the work in. A lot of people get lazy or they get scared. It's a combination of two things. It's a combination of being lazy, being scared, and being uncomfortable. Be on their home, then be uncomfortable doing the things that they fear. And the way you become fearless and get rid of all these different fears, anxieties, stresses, depressions, is that you actually go out there and you achieve the things that you desire. See, this is a funny thing too that a lot of people do is a lot of people make excuses. A lot of people will do this thing where instead of going and doing what they want, they'll why the prime example is dating. A lot of dudes will make these excuses. Oh, I'm not handsome enough. I weigh too much. I don't have the right clothes. I don't have the right mindset. I don't know how to talk to women really good. All that. And the difference between someone who actually gets far in life and someone who doesn't is that both of those people have the exact same fear. It's just one of them is willing to get up and go out there and achieve their goals and continue to have the fear. You think people who are big, people who become successful, famous, people who become, rich and follow their dreams and get the dream house they desire and, you know, become successful and actually follow their goals and follow through with the things that they desire to do, you think that they don't have fear? Oh, a lot of them people have fear. It's funny because we try to convince ourselves that these people are like psychopaths. Like there's something I heard where it's like, oh, these people are sociopaths or psychopaths or whatever the case may be. That's just assumptions. We don't know what goes on in people's heads. So you can think somebody's a psychopath, but you don't really know if they're a psychopath or not. But the whole point is the difference between people who don't go far and people who do is those people are dedicated. They go and follow their dreams and they don't care if they fail a lot. See, a person who's successful, who's truly successful, who is successful now has failed more times than they can count, has got rejected more times than they can count. And the thing is, when you can get through that rejection and get through that failure, you become the greatest at what you do. And every single famous person you've ever heard of or have seen has been rejected multiple times. Even some of the greatest writers. You always use anime and manga for an example because that's what we all really like is anime and manga. A lot of the big three, Tite Kubo, Ashura Oda, and Kishimoto, all three of them failed. All three of them had multiple mangas that had failed, and eventually, finally, their manga succeeded after the third or fourth time. I think with Bleach, it was like 4 or 5 times in a row. I think with Naruto, it was like 2 or 3, and then I think One Piece, it was like 4 or 5, something like that. But before those big pieces of media, those big pieces of fiction became some of the most famous and successful manga series of all time, their mangakas all failed. Same thing with Harry Potter. All of the big things, the things that become super big and successful, a lot of them were because the creator failed like multiple times and then finally succeeded. Sometimes it takes years as well. A lot of people don't get famous until they're like in their 30s and they're like mid 30s, you know, late 30s, early 40s, you know what I'm saying? So, especially people who are writers. So, you never want to give up your dream. You really want to become delusional and get obsessed with it, you know? I always say you want to have the evidence that you did something versus just talking about something. And I'll say it from my own experience. My problem was talking about my novel a lot instead of just doing it. And then a lot of the time with my novel, I would sit there and like try to talk to people about it. Like my novel's like about this, my novel's about that. But then I realized is that a lot of people want to see a finished product. Let people like your stuff when it gets done. Stop trying to get them to like it when you're in the middle of the process. Is what I had to genuinely teach myself. And I teach myself so much stuff on a day to day basis to improve and become wiser, more mature, and, just have a lot more wisdom. You have to literally teach yourself all the time. You have to become the student and the teacher. You have to literally sit there for hours and train yourself and study and read lots of books and, you know, just read a lot of information to learn and just constantly study like you're still in school. And you're also studying from real life as well. Life is literally the book of studying and the book of going through lots of life lessons and trials and tribulations, because you can learn from every single person you meet, and every time you fail you can learn from that. And once you learn from your failures, you'll succeed 9 times out of 10 if you keep working on it. You have to literally stay locked in and be determined and be very disciplined to, you know, become the greatest in whatever your craft is, whether it's writing, whether it's making YouTube videos, whatever it is. You have to really be into what you're doing, you know, and really believe that you will succeed in what you're doing, and then eventually you will succeed. But you got to get a little delusional, and you got to really be into what you're doing, your main goal. But that's all I have to really say for this video. Don't waste your time being stuck in a constant state of fear and shame. You're going to feel those uncomfortable feelings anyway, so you might as well go out there and achieve your goals and feel uncomfortable instead of staying at home and feeling uncomfortable. Remember, they're just emotions. You got this.